I saw the most amazing baking video the other day. In less than 3 minutes, it demonstrated how easy it was to make these beautiful apple rosette pastries. The video was truly mesmerizing, but I couldn't help but think, wouldn't it be great to do these beautiful apple rosette pastries in a bite size for the holidays? And then I thought a savory one would be great as well. Now here's the crazy thing. I have never baked a cookie or a cake in my life, but that's not going to stop me from making these petite pastries. Welcome to our segment we're calling, Just Because I Don't Know How to Do Something Doesn't Mean I Shouldn't Do It. So the first thing you want to get is your puff pastry dough. You can get this at any grocery store, and when you work with this, you want to make sure that it's cold right out of the refrigerator. You need a little flour and a rolling pin. For the sweet pastry, you want to start with a red apple, a very red skin apple. I'm going with a gala because they're sweet and the skin's very red. A little apricot jam, butter, and cinnamon. Now for the savory, I'm using radishes for color and texture, olive oil, Boursin cheese spread, mustard, salt, and pepper. You're also going to need a lemon, and I'll show you what you're going to do with that later. So here's a piece of the cold pastry dough. I'm going to take a little flour, and I don't use a lot because you don't want to toughen up your pastry dough. Start rolling center out, and if it gets tacky, a little flour on the dough, and then roll out starting from the middle to the ends. And what you want to end up with is a very thin piece of pastry dough. Now, after it's nice and thin where you want it, you're going to take your pizza cutter and you're going to cut off the edges to make a nice square or rectangle. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold your pastry in half, and then you're going to cut about strips about 1 1/4 to 1 1/2. You're going to open this up and you're going to cut down the middle. Now if you're not using these right away, put them in the refrigerator because you're going to want them cold when you use them. We've cut out and cored our apple, and now we're going to cut it. We don't need the end, the round end here. We're going to cut it into very small slices. And then we're going to put our apples in water. We're going to squeeze a little lemon, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes until they're limp. We want them very limp in order to roll them in the pastry dough. And we're going to do the same thing for our radishes. We're going to slice them as thinly as possible. They go into the bowl of water, and we want to squeeze a little lemon in there. Now the radishes are going to go in for 1.5 minutes, apples 2 minutes. So after you microwave your radishes and your apple, you want to strain them, and you want to lay them on a towel, and you want to pat dry them. Now when they come out of the microwave, they should be limp. So for our savory one, we take a piece of our dough, we run a little olive oil on the pastry shell, a little Boursin herb cream, you don't need a lot, and then a little bit of the mustard, and then you're going to take your radishes and overlap them with just the crowns showing up top. A little salt and pepper to taste. And then you're going to fold them in half, like so. And before you roll them, you want to dab the ends with water. Then leaving your pastry on the cutting block, you want to roll gently, don't squeeze. radish. Now I'm going to assemble the sweet. On the apples, I want to take them down to about 1/2 inch because they need to fit nicely inside the pastry. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my room temperature butter and I'm going to lightly spread it on my pastry. I'm going to take a little apricot jam, again, very lightly spread it on my pastry. I'm going to place the apples halfway down the pastry with just the crowns, the red crowns showing. Fold over. I'm going to pinch with a little water. And then I'm going to roll, keeping the pastry on the cutting board. Until I have this. You place it in a baking cup, put it in a mini muffin pan. We're going to preheat our oven to 375 and we're going to leave them in for 30 minutes. So these are our petite pastries out of the oven. I've let them cool and they're ready to plate. So now we're gonna garnish these with for the apple. We're gonna take a little powdered sugar, and you can actually use a tea strainer for this. And we're gonna lightly dust with powdered sugar. And you're going to garnish your savories with the chives. And then finally, we're going to take some cranberries, fresh cranberries, and just garnish the plate really easily. And there you have it, puff pastries for your holiday party. We'd like to give a special thanks to Ann M. from Maison M. for consulting with us on this video. And we'd also like to thank you for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, we'd love to hear from you. Eat well, laugh a lot, be chic, and happy holidays, everyone.